and to give them hope. And then all three men, wherever they may live, are citizens of Berlin. It's a metaphor used to celebrate the freedom that has been achieved in West Berlin.
So
comparing the two speeches, they differ in different aspects. Scale, rhetoric devices, structure and content, and tone. The statistic scale, depending on the intended message of the speaker. For example, Steve Jobs was very informal because he was supposed to motivate the graduates, and by telling a story and acknowledging his own failure. JFK was very formal because he was the president and he was there to celebrate the city of West Berlin and give the citizens hope that things in Germany would change. The rhetoric devices change depending on the audience. It was to create a different effect among them. And the structure and content. Steve Jobs was long in explaining why he wants to give hope, and he was like very informal as well because of this. Because if he was very formal in this long speech, it would be like kind of boring, and the audience wouldn't really catch the message. And here was his three stories back to the point. It was to the point to congratulate the students for signing the U.S. and the Cold War. And the tone in Steve Jobs' speech was motivational and inspirational because of the reasons we said before. And JFK was very hopeful and sincere and straightforward to the audience.
Also, the stylistic scale varies not only depending on the message you wanted to give, but on the audience they were directing to. Steve Jobs was directing to a younger audience, and they don't respond as well to formal structured speeches. They respond better to things that are more informal and relaxed, and that they can feel like a connection, and they don't feel like stuck, that it's not very dense in information. And JFK, he was addressing a serious matter, so he obviously had to be more formal and was directing to another country. So he had to have a more structured speech and to evoke credibility and convey the message that he wanted to convey to the Berliners.
Any questions?
Daniel?
And do you think that the reason that he made it more formal, well, the JFK was more because he wasn't like familiar to the audience in the way that Steve Jobs was, because he was like an auditorium filled with Americans that look up to him because of what he done, and well, Kennedy was like a foreigner in Germany, so maybe he doesn't have the same admiration from the people.
I think it has to do with the audience they're directing their speech towards too, but it doesn't have to do with how the audience perceives the person. However, the status, it's really important because JFK was the president, so he had to be formal. He didn't have the freedom that Steve Jobs has, even though that he's a respected figure. He didn't have the freedom that he has to say whatever he wants, to be more free, to be more relaxed. JFK always addresses more serious matters, so he had to be more formal, but I don't think it has anything to do with how the people perceive the speaker.
Anyone else?
¿Nadie? ¿Quién tiene una pregunta?
Someone else?
Do you think there is a difference in the speech as it varies like through time?
No, it's more like the time affects the audience, and
Yeah, it's more like, I don't think the structure and the content of the speeches itself would have changed. Maybe the rhetoric devices they use would be different because the audience is different. Because so they would have to make some modifications, but I think like the general of both speeches and the purpose they wanted to do and like the scale would still remain the same because it's still the same matters. It's just that the audience can be a little bit different depending on time.
And it's also because of the context in which it was delivered, and it was the time. It's not the time, but the context in which it was delivered. Yeah.
but the main purpose for
Yeah.
for the speech, it was a lot how they say approach the audience.
¿Algún Juan más?
Thank you.